Hello, it's me, Persimmon Heart, and welcome back. Today I want to show off some artwork. So, around January, I decided to redraw the art from the new Ultimate Guide. And then a few months later, I wanted to go back and just kind of comment on it, because why not? Here we go. The first one I drew was Blue Star. The photo in the book I do not like. Her eyes are just green for some reason. Yeah. The one I had drew, it came out fine. Not the worst I've drawn, but I should have drawn more trees and had more detailed shading. But it's pretty good for a first drawing. The second one I had drawn is of Pine Star. The book photo has him in like a weird green yellowish light. So I tried to replicate that somehow and it worked, but with a more green than yellow shade. The shading on the leaves was alright, but the one on the trees is like really good. And what's funny is like Pine Star's eyes just kind of look like green olives, and Riley from Inside Out, weirdly enough. Overall, I think this drawing's just okay. Next, the third drawing I had made was of Goosefeather. The book photo is the exact one from Goosefeather's novella. It has him in like some vague orange, black, leafy lighting, so yeah, it was a very easy one to draw. I kind of like this one, although I wish I shaded the sunlight on Goosefeather a bit better, because he's kind of like mildly radioactive. The fourth drawing I had made is of Firestar. The book photo was used on the Last Hope book cover. He's just angrily staring into the woods. I really liked how I drew Firestar's stripes. It makes him look like an almond. And I think it suits him because he radiates almond energy. If he were a nut, he would totally be an almond. While sunlight does shine on him in the original photo, I made the shining sunlight more obvious on mine because it signifies that he is the chosen one for many prophecies. The only critique I have is maybe add some more branches. The fifth drawing I had made is of Spotted Leaf. The book photo was used in the novella Spotted Leaf's Heart. And it's just her face in the photo, it's very off-putting. I don't ever want to see it again. Kind of like that book, I guess. The background is a vague, leafy one, which I did not know how to replicate. The lighting in this book photo just has her mysteriously glowing, so mine does as well. Overall, a good drawing. The sixth drawing I had made is of Graystripe. The book photo is from the Super Edition, Graystripe's Vow. In the photo, he's literally watching the Moonstone get destroyed, but he only looks mildly disturbed by it. But so, like, I made my drawing have him be more shocked. Very rightfully so. With the previous drawings, the character mouths, like, heavily contrasted with the rest of the characters, so I tried to soften the line art on that a bit, and it worked wonders. I'm quite proud of this one. The seventh drawing I made was of Sandstorm. I do like how I drew Sandstorm, but when I added the background and shading, it was not as detailed as the book photo. The book photo looks like a giant Victorian era painting hung up in a big fancy mansion. The one I drew looks like a mouse pad. They are not the same. But overall, an okay drawing. The eighth drawing I had made is of both Brightheart and Cloudtail. Unlike Cloudtail, I did not have a reference sheet for Brightheart, so I had to make one for this specific project. I really like how I drew both of these characters, both the sketch and the actual characters. The background is really confusing to make, but it's fine, I guess. Even after all the time I took on the shading, I do not like it. It's way too contrasting and bright. Other than that, I think it's pretty good. The ninth drawing I had made is of Yellowfang. In the book photo, she looks rightfully shocked to be caught in a fire, so copy that I shall. And the shading on my drawing, I really, really liked. It makes her look a bit like an iridescent little shining hummingbird. The only thing I would want to improve on this drawing is make her tail a bit fluffier. Next, the 10th drawing I had made is of Cinderpelt. In the book photo, she looks like she was home alone and heard a really weird noise in the kitchen. But in my drawing, she's just very tranquil, like, how do I pronounce it? Tranquil, very calm. The leafy background is kind of hard to draw, so I ended up just putting a bunch of random leaves in the background and calling it a day. But overall, I like this one quite a bit. The 11th drawing I had made is of Leaf Pool. In the book photo, it's just an awkward close-up, with her looking rather disturbed. So I kept a similar expression, but the invisible camera is much farther away. And she just looks more mildly concerned, like, what is that? Rather than, what are you doing? I'm really proud of this background, how the lake reflects the trees, how the water turns the ground. The only nitpick I have is non-existent. This is the best drawing I made for this challenge. The 12th drawing I had made is of Squirrel Flight. In both drawings, she's standing in a very bright, starry field. Even though it's supposed to be an unnaturally bright field, the background still looks faker than the book cover photo, if that makes sense. And in the book photo, Squirrel Flight has a sort of vacant expression. What am I drawing here? She has a more determined expression because she's very determined, passionate cat. Overall, this is a good drawing. The 13th drawing I had made is of Bramblestar. It's just the book cover for Midnight. In both photos, he looks very confused to have a camera shoved into his face. For the background, I just copy-pasted some dots onto a dark blue sky and didn't draw the floor because I didn't. I do like how I shaded Bramblestar here. The only things I would do different is maybe soften the shading a bit and add a floor. And overall, just okay, I guess. The 14th drawing I had made is of Ashfur. The book photo is from Long Shadows. In that book photo, he looks like really mad. But in my drawing, I gave him more of a, come on, where are the people? I want to be evil. I'm sick of waiting here type of look. Ever since I saw Ashfur with the Moon Kitty blonde hair, I decided, yep, this design choice needs to be in my life. So I put a wig on Ashfur. I like how it kind of adds to the fact that he looks like a, how do I pronounce this? You know, the Afghan hound, like elegant and fancy, yet bored and tired of it all. Overall, one of my favorite drawings. The 15th drawing I had made is of Lion Blaze. It's the cover for Dark River. In the book photo, the lighting is rather light, considering it's supposed to be in a deep dark cave. So in my drawing, I made the background and shading much darker. And detailing the water was kind of fun. Overall, I do really like this drawing here. The only thing I would do different is maybe add some more stalagmites. The 16th drawing I had made is of Hollyleaf. It's the cover for Forgotten Warrior. It has Hollyleaf in some weird radioactive green lighting, which, wow, that was fun to draw. It's not really my favorite. Like, next, I guess. The 17th drawing I had made is of Cinderheart. The background is nice, but the shading, I was trying something new with it, but it just made it too, like, sharp, contrasting with the rest of it. Other than that, this drawing's pretty okay. Next. The 18th drawing I had made is of Ivy Pool. It's the cover for Fading Echoes. In the book photo, Ivy Pool is just blankly staring at something in the distance. But in my drawing, she's instead staring at something in the distance with a more determined, oh yeah, I can do this expression. Because in that book, she's like very determined to be just as good, or maybe even better than her sister. The way I drew Ivy Pool kind of reminds me of a guinea pig, this one. But overall, this is a pretty nice drawing. The 19th drawing I had made is of Briarlight. In the book photo, she is sitting straight up, which is like, how she can't use her back legs in the book. Yeah. So in my drawing, she's sitting this way, more rather. I tried to make the green background look look like leaves, but it ended up looking like scales. And honestly, that's a lot cooler for her to just be casually chilling with a dragon. Overall, this is a good drawing. The 20th drawing I had made is of Alderheart. It's the cover for the Apprentice's Quest. In the book photo, Neil Tale's in it, but my drawing, she isn't here, because this drawing isn't about her. Like, no offense, though. I really like the background here, especially the mountains and the creative, motivational, inspirational, cropped off tree. The only things I would want to fix is maybe make the sun and Alderheart's tail tip slightly different color, because at first glance, it looks like the sun is melting onto him. And put the flowers not so, like, high up and in that spot, because it looks like Alderheart just tore down a flower bush by walking through the whole thing, like he's like a bulldozer or something, but he's not. Other than that, it's a pretty good drawing, like, great actually. The 21st drawing I made is of Twig Branch. It's the Raging Storm cover, but Violet Shine is cropped out, because again, it's not about her, no offense. The background I made doesn't look like the book photo, but it was really fun to make. Overall, a nice drawing. The only nitpicks I have are the shading and the grass. The light and the shadows don't really contrast enough. And, yeah, the way I drew the grass, it just looks like she's floating above it all. Next. And the last drawing, drumroll please, seriously, start drumrolling, is of Bristlefrost. I was trying out a new design for Bristlefrost that I made a few months ago, and I think it's like pretty cool. The shading is amazing on this. In the background, I really like the random like dots in the sky that I added. Not stars, but maybe like some sort of blue fireflies. I don't know. I just copied it from the book photo. And overall, it's one of my favorite drawings from this challenge. Anyways, bye-bye now.